Hello everyone! Today I'll be showing you guys how to make these cute authentic pouches that you can hang in your car, tie around your keychain, or you can even use it as a decoration in your bedroom. So, let's get started. So first, I will need this special fabric for cross-stitching, and it's called Aida. And then I have some patterns that I printed out from the internet. I need some embroidery floss with different colors and a tapestry needle. As you can see, this needle is blunt. It's not sharp, but you always need to be careful when dealing with needles of any kind. Now let's begin with preparing the floss. As you can see, this is embroidery floss. Each floss consists of 6 strands. Today I'm using 2 strands, so I'm going to pull out 2, but you can use 3 if you wish. So to pull them out, you do one by one and do it very slowly to avoid tangling. Here I am now grabbing the edge of the string and pulling it out. Now once it's out, I set it aside and I go back and I do the same thing with another piece of string. Now that you have both strands, align them together to form one string. And then after you do that and you make sure they're aligned together well, you take your needle and you put them through the eye of the needle. And then after that, you're going to want to make 2 to 3 knots at the end of the string. Okay, so let's get to work. First, choose your favorite design, whether it's the flag or the flower, but today I'm going to be using the flag. First, you need to center the pattern over the Aida and use a pen to mark your starting point. So I want my design to be in the center, so this mark that I'm making right now is where the first stitch is going to be. This mark over here is where I'm going to start stitching, and now let's begin the cross stitching. Okay, so to start cross stitching, you want to poke up and then poke down like I'm doing, as you can see, to create this diagonal line, which is the first part of the cross. Do not go back and complete the first cross. Instead, continue making diagonal lines for the whole row. Again, poke down, then poke up to make the next stitch. To stitch faster, let's do the poke down, poke up in one step. So just copy me like this. Again, poke down, poke up in one step, creating a new diagonal line each time. So continue what you're doing to complete the entire first row. Refer to your pattern to know how many stitches you should make. That will help you decide where to finish it off. Now that we've finished the first part of the cross stitch, we're going to go back to complete the whole cross. Now we're going to do this by creating a new diagonal line, but backwards this time, and it's going to result in the cross. Now continue doing this for the whole row. I will be using the same poke down, poke up method in one step just like before to speed things up. And you'll do this for the rest of this row. Just continue doing this until you reach the end of the row. Now that I have reached the last stitch of the first row, I'm going to be moving on to the next row. Now we will be continuing this row doing the same method we used earlier, which is poking down and then poking up, and you'll do this for the rest of this row. Now continue your stitching following your design until you are complete with the entire pattern. Now I have completed all my stitching, and this is how my final pattern looks like. Now we're going to be moving on to the next step, which is actually creating the pouch. So I'm going to need a piece of fabric and a piece of ribbon, cotton balls for stuffing. Find the top middle spot in your piece of fabric and mark that with a pen, because that's going to be the spot where you place your ribbon. Now fold the ribbon piece in half, then fix it on top of the fabric in the place where you marked. Now you can either sew it with a running stitch or you can use hot glue, and for this video I'm going to be using the hot glue to fix the ribbon in place. Now be careful while using hot glue to not burn yourself. Now center the piece of stitched Aida over your fabric piece, and then trim any excess fabric if there is any. For this next step, you can either use sewing or you can use hot glue, but what I'm going to do is glue 3 sides of the Aida to the fabric piece, and I'm going to be leaving a 4th side open for stuffing. So this is what it should look like after you're done gluing the 3 sides together. It's like a little open pouch. Now what we're going to do with this opening is that we're going to fluff some cotton balls and put them inside. You can also use toilet paper or old fabrics for the stuffing. You can put as many cotton balls as you'd like inside of the pouch. It just depends on how fluffy you want it to be. Now that I'm satisfied with how much I've stuffed my pouch, I'm going to be sealing it, and I'm going to be using hot glue. Now again, of course, always be careful when using hot glue and not burn yourself. Now that it's sealed, I'm going to be trimming the edges just to give it a nice and neat shape. So this is how it's going to look like in the end. I really hope you like the final product and that you try this at home sometime. Thank you so much for watching.